Hello, my name is Nurkamila Fatini binti Muhammad Fazli. I'm going to talk about Chapter 1.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to you, madam. I am Nur Zahira Shafiqah binti Muhammad Zamzuri, who will present about the parties involved in this case, which is who is plaintiff and who is defendant.
Assalamualaikum to madam and all. My name is Saidatul and I am going to explain about Chapter 3, which is the right and duty, and Chapter 4, the issue and problem.
Hi, my name is Nur Aimanisha binti Ahmad Kamal and my matrix number is 20227362 and 47.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day, madam. My name is Nur Shafiza binti Ahmad. So I will continue the last part. It's about the ready cases based on scenario and also HO case, which is cases Penny versus Keith.
First of all, we know that in any agreement, there must be two parties involved. Basically, when it comes to an agreement or contract, we need both parties to agree to all the terms. Then the contract will be a valid contract. Based on this case, it is related to auctions. Auction is viewed as an offer or invitation to trade, depends on the situations. There are two different types of auctions. So the first one, auction with reserve, and the second one is auction without reserve. In an auction with reserve, the auctioneer has established a required bid price for the bidder, and it is not obliged to accept the bid price from the bidder. The auctioneer also has the options of removing the item from the auction if the bid amount does not exceed their target. As for auction without reserve, there is no minimum bid price and the auctioneer has no such options. So, when the auctioneer's hammers drop, it means that the sale is over. So, according to scenario 2, Mr. Larson is excited to bid for the property, but then he started to change his mind in a blink of eyes right after the auctioneer had closed the deals.
So, in this legislation system, the parties involved rely on bringing forth and defending their respective claim, just like we seen in a game of chess. Each move can take a place only if the players decided for moving their soldier in a particular way wisely. Furthermore, when we need a lawyer's service, it is difficult to understand the term as we've discussed with the lawyer since they use an apparent aversion to plain English. Two words that they frequently use is plaintiff and defendant. So what is plaintiff and what is defendant? Plaintiff means the person or entity that files the lawsuit, while defendant means the person or entity being sued. So in this scenario, which is scenario 2, we can see that the auctioneer is the plaintiff, while Mr. Larson is the defendant. Why is that? What's the reason for it? Because the auctioneer will file the lawsuit since they want to seek justice for Mr. Larson's behavior, in which he changes his mind while the deal has been closed.
Next, we start with Chapter 3, the right and duty. Right is a rules of interaction between people and they have obligations upon the action of the state and individuals or groups. Duties is someone expected to be required, also those acts which we should perform for others. In this scenario, the auctioneers claimed that the contract had been consummated and Mr. Larsen was required to pay for the good that he bid during the auction. The auctioneers here claim that there is a contract form as Mr. Larsen's bidding was valid due to he withdraws from the bidding after the case has been closed. In this case, during the auction session, an invitation to trade is given when an auctioneer requests bids. An offer is any bid. In response to this, acceptance is signaled by the fall of the auctioneer's hammer. Correspondingly, a bidder has a flexible withdrawal period before the auctioneer's hammer drops. Next, Chapter 4 is the issue and problem. We start from issue statement, whether the auctioneers, the owner of his goods that put his goods up at a public auction, has a claim against Mr. Larsen, who made the highest bid at the auction but then changed his mind and withdraw before the auctioneer's hammers fell, resulting in the auctioneers not having to pay for the bid he made. Following this is problem statement. The auctioneers, the claimant, put his goods up at a public auction. Moreover, Mr. Larsen, who was at the auction, then made the highest bid. But then he changed his mind, but only when the auctioneers had closed the deal. The auctioneers felt that Mr. Larsen's action had violated the contract that had been made and he needed to pay for the bid he made. For solution, the auctioneers then bring this issue to the court. In another word, seeking out justice will help both parties to solve the issue. The result are the decision from the court is on the auctioneer's side. It is stated that the unit is officially Mr. Larsen's unit. Based on this case, it will surely Mr. Larsen knew before he bid on the unit, he read the contract of proclamation of sale (POS) and agreed to all the states that have been stated in the contract. Also, based on the POS above, in clause 5, he should pay 10% deposit 1 working before the auction date. In clause 7, if he failed to pay the deposit, he cannot be entering the auction venue. When an auctioneer solicits bids, it is a trade invitation. Any bid response to this constitutes an offer. The acceptance is signified by the fall of the auctioneer's hammer. The auctioneers won this case and the deposit of 10%, which is Mr. Larsen's payout, will be forfeited by the assignee and the property may be put up for sale again at a time to be fixed by the assignee, and the deficiency in price.
For my part is the element of contract. The contract element involved in case 2 is under the invitation to trade. A statement indicating that the party is ready to invite or receive an offer, which the inviting party may accept or reject. An inviting to trade is not an offer that may be accepted to establish a binding contract, rather it is just an invitation from the party to everyone invited to make an offer that will be accepted or refused by the inviting party. From case 2, we observe that this case is under auction. Auction contracts are agreements entered into between a seller and a buyer, in which the seller agrees to sell an item or a property for the highest offer, and the buyer agrees to pay for it. And they happen between the bidder and also the auctioneer as well. In an auction, we know that there is one seller and several possible bidders, and the property is sold to the highest bidder. An auction also procedure culminates in a final sale based on a bid competition, yet it is vital to note that if only one offer is submitted, a single bidder may acquire the item. According to the circumstances, Mr. Larsen attended to the property auction that had been held at the Damansara as an invitation to trade. He was eager to acquire a home at auction because auction properties were frequently sold for a less than a market value price. Mr. Larsen was enticed to a bid on a single condominium unit located in USD with a starting price of 350,000, but Mr. Larsen then enthusiastically offered 390,000 for the property, and Mr. Larsen win as the bidder. He quickly changed his mind by only after the auctioneer had concluded sale and agreed to sell the condominium unit to Mr. Larsen.
Based on the situation, Ms. Larsen attended the auction here in the Damansara and won consolation once had the close the day and agreed to sell the condominium unit to the Mr. Larsen. The case's PD has been subject to the government. The sale of auction is a sale of good at 1979 in section 57, where the auction sale is a complete when the auctioneer announce the complication by the following the hammer or any other ordinary. And until the announcement is made, any bidder may withdraw his bid. In this situation, the court held the Mr. Larsen or defendant not entitled to revocation. This is because the execution and bidding process has been completed. The defendant and parties are be a contract. The court held in favor is a penalty, which is the developer condominium USJ. While the cases scenario to the Mr. Larsen versus the developer condominium, they are in actual case with that Penny versus Cave 1989. The actual case in the similar to the cases of the Mr. Larsen, who want to make a cancellation and change of the mind, not to proceed the purchase in the bidding situation. But for the Mr. Cave side, that is the situation quite different. The defense of Mr. Cave was successful on the factor cancellation before the bid of end and before the falling the hammer.
So that's it from us. Assalamualaikum.
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 Assalamualaikum and have a nice day, madam.
See you soon, madam, inshallah.